Good evening, I'm Karthik and with me is Chukwocha Chibundo who are going to explain the email app, which is our Android assignment. So first what happens is basically we need to include a permission to send an email. So what that is android.permission.internet. Only then can we send a mail. Next, what we are doing is we have three edit text known as email text, subject text and message text, and we have a button with the name sent. What we are doing is we are finding the view by ID for each edit text and for the button also, and then what we do is we set a listener for the button so that when we click on it we execute the send mail function, which will send the mail. So what we are doing here is we have three string variables, email, subject and message, which takes in the content of the edit text of email text, subject text and message text. What we are then doing is we are creating an object of class sendMail, and then we are passing the email, subject and message strings as parameters. The next part will be explained by Jokes.
Good evening. Continuing what my partner has explained, I'm going to explain the sendmail.java class. Okay, so using this object listener, when you click the button, it creates a sendmail object and it executes from the sendmail class. So the sendmail.java, the first thing you have to understand is that in order to prevent the opening of a Gmail app, an actual Gmail app, so we use javax.mail libraries. Okay, so javax.mail libraries enables you to create an app that can send mails without using the Gmail app. Okay, so and now we want to make the app an asynchronous task. Okay, so we extend async tags. Okay, and the data type is void. Okay, and then we create our context variable and our session variable. Our context basically stores the context of this particular activity, and our session variable stores the session. Okay, and then we have the information to send mail that was sent from the main activity.java. Okay, the information includes email, subject and message. Okay, and then we create a progress dialog, okay, that updates the progress of the mail. Okay, what's happening while the mail is sending. Okay, and then using the constructor of the sendMail class, we initialize our variables to email, subject and message to the variables or to the variables that are sent from the main activity.java. Okay, so when we initialize it, then each time you extend an async task, there are four basic methods that you have to override. Okay, the first one is pre-execute, which basically means the actions that are performed before the execution of the task. The second one is do in background, which is basically what happens in the background. Okay, that's the main async task function. Okay, then you have on progress update, but we're not using that here. We're using a progress dialog variable directly. Okay, and the last one is on post execute, which is basically what happens after the execution of the task. Okay, so now for our first method, our progress dialog will show this particular is equal to progress dialog.show. Then we have the context of the activity, then we have a message, sending message, please wait a minute. Okay, so that's what happens in our pre-execute method. And then when our message is sent, that's on our post execute method, we dismiss the progress dialog, and then using toasts we tell the user that the message is sent. Okay, now the major thing in this sendmail.java is the void do in background. Okay, first of all, I have a config.java where I give my password and my email, but I can't show that for security purposes. Okay, but I can access that using config.email and config.password. So first thing we do is that we create properties. Okay, using properties is equal to new properties, and then we configure those properties for the Gmail using props.put. Okay, now note that each time you use .put, it consists of a pair of ID and values. Okay, so for the host is smtp.gmail. okay, and this is enabled, and the authentication is true, and then the port is 587. okay, then we create a new session. Okay, and then in that new session we use Java Mail Authenticator to authenticate our password to check whether the password is correct. Okay, and if it's correct, it moves on to the try catch block. Okay, now the catch sends an exception of messaging exception. Okay, now to send the message we have to create what is an object of MIME message. MIME is basically media or text message. Okay, so you can either send images, you can send videos, you can send attachment. That's basically what Gmail uses. Okay, and then the new MIME message plus this session, then we'll set the sender address using mm.setFrom new internet address, use my email address. Okay, and then we add recipient. The recipient address is already given in the edit text in the main activity. Okay, and then we set the subject and set the text message, and then to send the email we use transport.send. okay, and then return null. So that's basically. So I'm going to run this application now. I'm going to run this application to show you. So I have an app that shows my phone on screen. Okay, so when I run this app, okay, so you can see that on screen it opens our email app. Okay, so we have a recipient email, a subject and a message. Okay, so let's type the recipient email. So I will use my second email address as a recipient email. It's my student email address. Okay, my sender is my personal email address. So okay, let's say the subject is email app. Okay, the message is you have created an email app. You have created an email app. Okay, let's verify the mail. Okay, so now when I send this, you can see the progress dial. Okay, it says please wait a minute. Okay, so we wait for it to send, and then message is sent. Okay, and then you can see that immediately the message comes here, email app. You have created an email app. So that is basically the project for creating an application that sends the mail without using Gmail. Thank you for joining us.